and Civil Defense Corps in their numbers. Some members of the party were cited inside the secretariat, while some were prevented from gaining access to the office. Some party members who spoke with OX explained slated about this.
Last week we have been making a move to have a peaceful protest this morning. Unfortunately, when we get here this morning, we met police officers and others. They have still off our office.
And the situation of things that you are saying is that we wrote the security agencies, but we got there this time. We of Nigeria, those states in particular, and we have the right. We are opposition party. We have the right to gather.
This form of harassment or violence witnessed at the venue. As the Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission (ODEC) prepares February 17, 2024 council election, verifications into the council development polls have emerged. The ODEC chairman, Dr. Osrc, said election for the position of councillors will hold in the existing 203 wards across the state, as these wards are now subsumed in the 33 new LCDAs and 18 local government areas. Osrc's Zaid Abisala has more.
The ball has been set in for the conduct of local government elections state, with the State Independent Electoral Commission (ODEC) making public guidelines and official schedule of activities. Next year's election for the third tier of government in the state is rather developed with the creation of 33 local council development areas along existing local government areas. This new development, however, draws different reactions and concerns from some of the political parties that have indicated interest to contest for available positions.
Operationally, there are some LCDAs that are going to have only 2 wards. And those 2 wards are going to constitute the legislative council of that LCDA. Are we making mockery of democracy, or are we making mockery of ourselves? I see a lot of complications in all of this. And but because they have insisted they are going to conduct the election, and we had earlier on indicated interest to participate, we can no longer back out or back down, so we are going to participate. So that's how it stands.
While the administration of these new LCDAs, the emplacement of required facilities, as well as manpower for a smooth takeoff remains a challenge, the electoral umpire is sticking to its guns in ensuring a smooth election.
The message will be passed across to the electorate at the grassroots levels. I mentioned earlier that a couple of NGOs will be going out to key important senatorial areas within Ondo State, going into sensitive areas, going to villages, going into towns to speak to people.
ODEC chairman Joseph Aremo sheds more light on the planned exercise, emphasizing that elections for the position of councillors will only be held across the existing 203 wards, while chairmanship and vice chairman position will be contested in the 18 local government areas and 33 LCDAs.
Our mandate is to conduct election. What happened about the administration is not our business. But as a lawyer, let me tell you this. What you are doing, what you are going to do is not new in the country. Lagos State has done it before. Even Ekiti here, Ekiti State has done it in the past, and they also prepared for another election. We have 2 or 3 wards in the state. And by implication, we have 2 or 3 councillors. Creating SCDA will not affect the position of the councillors. For example, you have 3. Councillor cash out from the old local government to form a new SCDA. It means that we have 3 councillors in the newly created SCDA. That's how it operates. There's no problem.
It doesn't necessarily bring governance closer to people, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, for all I care, with the 33 LCDs, you might even raise much more issues. Some people might feel that, precisely what
with a view to fielding candidates for the contest.
We are fully prepared, let me say. And you should know, before now, the election has been postponed. Even before then, we've made some preparation ahead that very election that was postponed.
In the events, campaign is to begin 17, 2023 and end by February 15, 2024. Sahira, South News.
The government says human trafficking would no longer be tolerated in the state. The State Commissioner for Regional Integration and Diaspora Relations, Prince Boye Ologbese, spoke during our show. Human trafficking, a crime against humanity, securing the future of our youth at Adekunle Ajashin University of Mwakuku, Ondo State. Our correspondent Kunle Aruyo reports that the commissioner also restated government's will to hold perpetrators accountable.
Nigeria is a source, transit, and destination country for women and children subjected to trafficking in persons, including forced labor and forced prostitution. Statistics show that Nigerians are 21% 1,000 migrants that arrived in Italy. The Mediterranean about Nigerian and gay traffic to grab and not to reverse the Ondo State government, through the Ministry of Regional Integration and Diaspora Relations, embarked on public sensitization to combat the menace. The latest to stakeholder community in Ondo State. The Commissioner for Regional Integration and Diaspora Relations, Prince Boye Ologbese, said the workshop became imperative to address the increasing cases of human trafficking and irregular migration of youth, which has become a major issue of concern to both individuals and government. He said human trafficking is no doubt dehumanizing and deliberate violation of human rights.
Àwọn ọba wa kó máa ṣe àbójútó àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa tó sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ kúrò ní ìlú lọ sí òkè òkun. A tún wá ń fi àsìkò yìí náà pààrọ̀ fún ọ̀dọ́ wa náà, leaders of tomorrow. I will talk about the students, àwọn tó ti wà ní final year tó wà ní school. Ṣe ní sùúrù kẹ́ parí school tí òbí tó ti náwó lé lórí kẹ́tì ẹ̀ gba degree yìí náà. Kó tó di pé ẹ fẹ́ máa ṣe pé ẹ fẹ́ máa ronú pé ẹ fẹ́ máa travel. Tó bá di pé ẹ fẹ́ máa travel, I'm sure the information wà ní ministry wa lóríṣiríṣi tẹ̀lé wá tẹ́ pé I'm sure the office of the PS is open tó máa lè fún yín láwọn ètò oríṣiríṣi program tẹ̀lé apply sí.
In his keynote address, National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, Zonal Commander Oshogbo, Efe Rika, who was represented by the head of public enlightenment, Fibisola Ladipo, said human trafficking has assumed a new dimension and radically different from the violent approach of slave trade.
Of the 57 CIP victims received, Ondo and Niger State indigenes were the most prominent, as both states led with a share of 10 victims each.
The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Sir Charles, as a of the Ondo State against human trafficking, represented by the State Secretary, Blessing Olanrewaju, said people should join the fight against the hydra-headed monster called human trafficking.
The menace of human trafficking has become multifaceted, and it's looking as if the efforts of various bodies in combating crime is not yielding. However, we should not rest on our oars in fighting the hydra-headed monster called human trafficking.
The work also discussed effort at improving organizational operational and management capacities of agencies to deal with cases of trafficking. Kunle Ariyo, Osrc News.
The grand finale of the 2023 Ulefuta Festival of Akure Kingdom was a spectacle to behold as sons and daughters gathered to showcase their commitment for development. Non-indigenous were also not left out of the celebration, which attracted dignitaries across Nigeria. Osrc's Zaid Aribisala reports that the Deji Oba Aladetoyi enjoined indigenous to continually support development projects geared towards making Akure a place of pride.
After a series of activities, the grand finale of the 2023 annual Ulefuta Festival of Akure Kingdom is here with so much excitement in the air. Indigenes of the state capital set aside other engagements to gather at the MKO Abiola Democracy Park in Akure, clad in colorful traditional and African prints and accessories. Drums of different kinds and sizes and other musical instruments accompanied outpour of joy section.
A festival of Akure Kingdom in various communities, and this is done in a very good manner.
Representatives of different communities will moved the venue, homage to the Akure owner, Aladetoyin Alade Lucy.
Five years ago, when we did this, we just did it at the Deji's Palace. There was no glamour like this. But when you have an educated and well-traveled Oba, you will bring innovations. And you can see the innovation.
People to pray for Akure, to rejoice, to fraternize, to be thankful for God for the peace that has been with Akure for a while. We also celebrate our paramount leader, paramount Deji of Akure, Akure King. That is really blissful, to bring blessings, good tidings to Akure.
This is a festival that has become the symbol of Akure. It's just synonymous to Oba, and we are looking at all citizens of Akure the work to this person.
Non-indigenous of the town was various not the display of love for Akure Kingdom. Pastors and cultural groups of their best. Though, according to tradition, also to connect their roots and the elders who have contributed to the kingdom.
Ilefuta Festival motivates us because it's a time for you to see people that have served this community in the past and current. You have people that when you see them, it will motivate you. So it's a thing of joy for the youth to motivate them in their own various endeavors.
All traders, including former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Buratai, who described the gesture as a symbol of Nigeria's unity, also took center stage.
Joy, people are happy, they are celebrating, and I'm here to celebrate with them.
Away from the merits to developmental issues, the chairman of Ulefuta Festival and some other individuals took the conversation on the need to support the construction of a teaching hospital foundation laying scheduled for December 23, 2023. Balade Lucy and non-individual work for the prosperity of the town. Long Ulefuta Festival 2023 featured, among other things, presentation of bursary and scholarships to students and health outreach for members of the community. Sahida Aribisala, Osrc News.
In furtherance meetings of the 2023 Exercise Your Patience Regional Convention Series, Jehovah's Witnesses have gathered in a patient in Ireland is through surgery. Was out in Yoruba to and assimilation.
It is the fourth meeting since the convention series commenced in September, and the Yoruba language was adopted for clarity in communication. Across weeks, the importation to human and social development. Speaking on a public discourse titled, "Will God Act on Your Behalf?" Mr. Ojo Ogunkwade charged the congregation on the need to exercise patience, remember the needy, and believe in Jehovah for the manifestations of their prayers. Kurefo Gabriel Adewi harped on the theme of the convention, reminding members of its essence.
We are living in a world of lawlessness, and we are dealing with women in our daily life. So we need to exercise patience in everything. If at all we have been having patience, we still want to have more, because things are not easy for people. When we exercise patience, we cultivate God's Holy Spirit quality so that we can be able to help as many as possible. At the same time, we have the rest of mind for ourselves.
Members expressed their happiness at the knowledge imparted in them and pledged to hold on to the lessons learned in their daily living.
If you look at the world general, people are not patient. They want to get to your place of work without considering others. So patience is very, very necessary. When we talk about family, when we talk about employment, every aspect, every sphere of life, we need patience. So that is why this topic is very, very important at this time.
I've learned a lot from this year regional convention. Firstly, to imitate Jehovah and Jesus Christ, and the example of people who exercise patience in the Bible, like Joseph, like Job, like Micah, like Isaiah, like Esther. As a woman, I want to imitate Esther by being patient with people, even in my family, with my workmates, even with the preaching work that I involve.
This convention has really helped me a lot so that I can be a more patient person, because before I was not that patient at all, but this convention has really helped me to be patient with my friends, my family and everybody around me. So what I now plan to do now is I want to remain patient now and forever to when God's kingdom will come, and I know Jehovah will help me.
The first three series of the convention had been held in English and Pidgin. The regional convention continues till December. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
And finally, from the sports arena, Sunshine Stars Football Club of Akure have shared its spoils with Heartland FC of Owerri in a match day 3 fixture of the 2023-2024 Nigeria Premier Football League. Michael Olalusi scored the first goal from the spot in the 39th minute of the game before Heartland FC took advantage of Sunshine Stars goalkeeper's error to equalize in the second half. Benga Oluwajano has more.
Ably led by the chairman.
It is match day 3 for Sunshine Stars against Heartland FC of Owerri at the Ondo State Sports Complex in Akure as fans